New drivers, new cars and a new Formula One season. But it's the same Albert Park that we've come to know and love for more than 2 decades now that hosts the first round of a 21-race championship, taking us from here in Melbourne, Australia, across the globe before we eventually reach the season finale at Yas Marina Circuit in Abu Dhabi. Just south of Melbourne's downtown business centre is the one and only Albert Park circuit. 3.3 miles of public roads, closed for the weekend of course, make for a bumpy circuit with little undulation. There are 16 corners around the lake and a couple of good passing opportunities here as well, thanks in part to the DRS zones into turns 1, 3 and 13. We have plenty of changes to the sport this year with the addition of new safety features, the return of France and Germany in an expanded 21-race calendar and more tyre compounds than ever before. And of course, we have some big car manufacturers back in the sport too, with Alfa Romeo and Aston Martin returning as title sponsors for Sauber and Red Bull respectively. Joining me to take you through all the action of the 2018 Formula One season is Anthony Davidson. Great to have you with us.
Thanks, Crofty. Always happy to be here. I'm looking forward to getting underway. Last year was Mercedes' 4th Constructors' title in a row, although for the first half of the season, it was absolutely neck and neck with the Ferraris. Hopefully this year we can see the chasing pack take that final step, as I'd love to see a championship contest all the way up to the final race in Abu Dhabi. Another story to keep an eye on is the relative performance of McLaren and Toro Rosso, who have exchanged power unit suppliers this year. And given the additional restrictions on engine components, they need to be strong in terms of both performance and reliability.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, with Daniel Ricciardo slotting in alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Raikkonen, Verstappen, Valtteri Bottas, Jensen, Hamilton, Hülkenberg, Magnussen and Romain Grosjean. Sainz, Alonso, Sergio Perez and Leclerc, Van Dorn, Hartley, Marcus Ericsson and Pierre Gasly. Sirotkin and Lance Stroll rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
You qualified higher than we were expecting, so see if you can keep this position in the race. Well done off the line, we're in a good position. P1, Ricciardo behind. The gap to the car behind is 1.6 seconds. They're on fresh Ultra Softs. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. 4 laps remaining. first position, front of the pack. Ricciardo is behind you. The gap is less than a second. They're on fresh Ultra Softs. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Just 3 laps to go now. 3 laps. Fastest lap of the race so far. You're leading the pack. P1, Ricciardo behind. The gap behind us is 1.9 seconds. They're on fresh Ultra Softs. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. Gap to teammate behind is 11.0 seconds. Tyres still looking good, Nick. Let's keep them that way for as long as we can. Your tyres and brakes are getting too hot. Try and be less aggressive through the corners. You are in first position, front of the pack. Ricciardo is behind you. Okay, the gap behind is 4.4 seconds. They're on fresh Ultra Softs. This is your final lap of the race. Drivers we're fighting here are Ricciardo and Perez. We're leading our teammate by 15.8 seconds. They're on fresh Ultra Softs. The time last lap was a 1 minute 33.2. Great drive. We did it. Good job.
And an incredible win for Force India. A brilliant performance. Tell me, Ant, what was the key to this success?
Well, I think the track conditions just really suited their car today. Wind, track temperature, you name it. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature. So the more easily you can keep them there, the better your race tends to go. And that's exactly what happened. Their car just looks so comfortable out there.
It's time to present the top drivers with their trophies for today's Grand Prix. And there are a lot of people in the paddock very happy with this result. It's Force India on the top step. And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. And Jensen takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Jensen. They fought so hard and had incredible pace at times, so I don't think anyone else did a better job today.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Red Bull moved to the top of the table. That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time.